We didn't take it off right away because we tested it.
That's all.
Mavericks and Lakers I got 7.
She said
I've got
7 folders or 7 emails?
just 7.
That's it?
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm a deleter too, but I've noticed, well, DNR, there's
I'll just change it to this. We're going to keep 4 All right, we'll call this back to order. So what we have done is we have selected 3 finalists. I cannot release their names until they have agreed to be interviewed. And our tentative date is the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. In there, we will have interviews. And we will, once these people have agreed to be interviewed, then we can release their names. And then they'll be to the public, and then we will do that. We have a schedule here we have set up. We're going to do there will be a chance for the community, the staff, and the students to meet with them, and that'll all be made public once our names are done. Okay? All right. So, again, we have selected 3 from our list, and we'll interview those 3 the week of the 22nd through the 24th. We'll stay away next week from all the things that are happening. Okay? All right, then we're back to our schedule, which I don't know what I just did with. Okay, on the back side. Okay, so we have a motion to hire elementary principal and dean of students, Bethany Ramden. Okay, I would accept take a motion to accept. Ramden.
I'd like to make a motion to accept her as an elementary teacher, but not dean of students.
Okay, is there a second to that? Is there a second to that? Is there a second to that?
She did not agree. We hired her out of the elementary principal pool.
Okay, not a second, then that motion fails. Is there another motion to hire Bethany as a student and dean of students?
I'll make a motion to hire Kathleen Roman as an elementary teacher and dean of students.
Okay, is there a second?
Separate contracts.
Second. Okay, properly moved and second that we hire her as dean of students at an elementary teacher position. Discussion.
So this was an applicant that was from the pool when we hired the elementary school principal?
She applied.
Kind of.
Yeah, so she applied for the elementary principal job shortly after we interviewed. And so then when Mr. Doctor resigned, we had a pool of administrative applicants already in place. So we had a number 2 applicant that the committee had selected. We had not interviewed this candidate. So we already had a hiring committee in place, so we brought the hiring committee in. We interviewed that candidate. I did have 1 board member involved in the interview of that. We followed the same questioning line that we did for the elementary principal, so that we would follow all hiring laws. And I did discuss, we had a number 2 person, and I discussed if they would want to be dean of students in consideration. They said they would not. And so then we interviewed this candidate that came in later to complete the pool, because we interviewed all applicants for the principal position. And we had the recommendation from the hiring committee to hire her as dean of students and as an elementary teacher. So we brought the recommendation forward. From the recommendation of the hiring committee, out of your principal pool, she does have her administrative degree. It's a new graduate. She'll graduate in May.
But dean of students wasn't. What? No, what? You're mixing things up. She's teaching rugby.
Yeah, she's a current teacher.
And she's graduating in May.
Yeah, with her master's of administration.
But that dean of students wasn't opened up internally.
we're just you're doing that right now. We're hiring the dean of students out of the principal pool. So that's what you're doing right now. Because you've already accepted the resignation. You can vote, I mean, like I said to those who talked to me about it, I said it's the board's vote. We're just bringing forward from your applicant pool a teacher and a dean of students, and the board gets a vote on it.
And in my opinion, I was part of the interview, I didn't have to say, but this is a tremendous applicant for the teaching position, and you know, we're going to really have to struggle to find good teachers, and I think we have to be creative and wait on how to find some of them. So I mean,
so this candidate wouldn't come to teach?
Oh, yes, it's a full-time teacher.
No, I mean like but she wouldn't agree to come teach without dean of students, or
no, she's looking to advance her career in administration, and so the idea behind it having the dean of students open was, if we had this applicant pool of people who are interested in getting this experience, we interviewed them, we asked them if they were interested in the possibility of it. They said, we had one that said yes, and so with this, we fill a teaching opening and we fill the dean of student opening at the same time out of your pool that you already have.
Okay.
I think that is a very, very bad idea. I would love to have her come and teach, but if we hire her as teacher and dean of students, I very much am concerned we will lose staff. I think you're pulling the rug out from under your current staff without giving them the opportunity of being dean of students. I think this is a bad idea.
How many applicants did you have internally last year for dean of students?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
One. You had one last year, and there were multiple instances where there was concern whether it was needed or not. We know that we definitely need it now. I look at it, you have, you know, it's going to be a refresh over there. We talk about it all the time. This is just my personal opinion. This would be a good way to continue that refresh and new outlook. That's my thing, because, and yeah, you're going to have some people that are hurt that they didn't get a chance, but if somebody else gets it internally, then there's going to be hurt internally amongst them as well. You're not going to win no matter what. But if you're looking for a change of culture, that's just my 2 cents from my position where I'm at.
Any other discussion?
Well, I'm assuming this person is probably sounds like she's quite qualified.
Very qualified.
She was approved by the committee of teachers.
Say that. I would say
She's
we have
just getting her
The
degree.
elementary teachers that approved her.
Bring it to a vote. I mean, I brought it to you guys. I'm filling a teaching position for you. You
Okay?
can vote against it, you can vote for it. It's just a solution for you as you're trying to fill your staff.
Okay. Any discussion?
So what's the isn't dean of students too? Isn't like the stipend only like $500 still or whatever it is? 1,500 is what we raised it to.
So this is in addition to a teaching contract. So it's not like you're
That would
gonna,
be a separate contract.
it's a separate thing.
Right.
Okay, any more discussion? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor of hiring Bethany Ramadan as elementary teacher and dean of students, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. We will hire her as that position. Okay, the next one we have Ella Hertz. Again, she was interviewed by the teachers. So we have a motion, accept recommendation to hire her. Is there a motion?
I moved to hire.
Okay, Spencer, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those, okay, any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor then of hiring Ella Hurst from the elementary application pool, say aye. Okay, all opposed? Motion passes. Is hired. Okay, transfer duties for the 24-25 school year?
And this should be the 25-26 school year. We have we passed our cybersecurity requirement, so now we have somebody who can fill in the cybersecurity. He works as a paraprofessional for us now. So you're simply, for next year, you're offering him a teaching contract now that he's a licensed teacher. That will include cybersecurity and middle school history, I believe. Yeah, so you're offering the contract. You're just transferring duties from paraprofessional to cybersecurity and middle school history. Right now he teaches middle school history under his student teaching license right now. So.
Okay.
But we're also having your full contract in high school.
This is an unfunded mandate from the state. You have to teach cybersecurity, and they did not provide funding for it.
Okay, so we need a motion on this?
Yes, you need a motion to transfer duties to cover your cybersecurity, offer the contract.
I would make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Spencer and James, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, well, we'll transfer the duties of the 25-20 school year passes. Okay, then the last thing on here, we have the passage of the 25-26 calendar. Talk about the calendar.
I had a suggestion, because the March 19 and 20 break is so close to Easter. The suggestion was either to to split those days away, put one on Easter, put one on February 19th, put one on August 18th, whatever. But that was a suggestion. I know the grade school is not keen about having a full first week. I know the high school wants a full first week so that they can finish their semester. I don't know what the answer is.
We won't finish our semester with this calendar until January 16th.
Oh, you won't anyway, okay.
The only way we can finish is if we move, if we move to the 13th as our start date. Then we could finish our semester before Christmas break, otherwise.
Then you wouldn't match Fessenden.
Right.
That's the only thing.
And we lose
So
that.
we moved it to match Fessenden on like our week, and then so that's why we are in the week we are. But if you move it up, you can do that. It's
You
very
lose
simple.
what to March president?
You start the same week as Fessenden, as far as activities and all those different things.
Same week, not the same day.
No, they're starting, I believe Wednesday maybe, and we're starting on Monday based on this, just based on that survey we did. Because we were starting on Wednesday, and then we did a survey. We found that majority of the staff wanted to
2 weeks.
Yeah, wanted 2 weeks, and they wanted to add those 2 days at the beginning. That was the preference of the survey. So if you want, you could. I mean, that's what the survey said. That's why it's structured the way it's structured.
Well, I would suggest moving one of those days to the 18th then. And one of those days either to the 18th of August, and then one of those days either to the 19th of February or Easter weekend, is my suggestion.
Are you making that in a motion, or?
Well, the only thing then, which I don't mind so much, but it was nice to have the end of the semester on January 16th, which is a Friday. Otherwise, then we move it. We can't even do it Monday because that's a holiday in January, so then we move it to
We could still sit and end our semester on
the
the
16th.
Friday. Yeah,
Okay.
because right now, the way it's set up, the first semester has 89 days, and the second one has 86, so then we'd be at 88 and 87.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I just want to make sure it was okay
Yep.
with,
Yep, we just want to keep that within 3 days of each other. We don't want to have,
yeah.
to make sure we meet our required minutes for all of our
And I-
courses and get
And I
credits.
figured a Friday was okay.
Yeah, Friday is preferable rather than saying
Well, I
on a
think we-
Monday and then everyone's got to have grades in on a Tuesday or Wednesday for finals.
If you would take those days away, then I think we should be, one of them should be the 19th. February. Right, is that wrestling? I mean, not that I'm just asking his opinion, but I mean, I just know we have so many students on.
Then what would you think of moving parent-teacher conferences like to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday instead of?
Well, and those, I mean, as long as we have, yeah, if we would give the days as, the problem with, I'll just be straightforward, the problem if you do it on the 18th is, I'm gone the 18th already, because I've got coaches meeting to leave early for state wrestling.
Okay, so then that's not good.
But we could put it,
regardless.
well, I know, we could put, conferences could go the 10th, 11th, 12th, they could go the 24th, 25th, and the
Okay.
6th. Yeah, we just, you know, I would meet with the principal, and we can always amend the parent-teacher conferences to what we feel is best for
Sure,
the
because,
teachers and
yeah.
kids. I mean, as long as we have a rough idea we want to have them in February, that gives us an idea, but that's able to shift.
Only reason it got moved there is because the staff requested, as I was surveying them, to have parent-teacher conferences on the weeks of days off.
Yeah.
That's why they got moved there.
And
It would be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
even if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, I could have
Let's
administrators
say, for
stand.
example, if we would use the 19th as one of those days.
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I hearing? We're gonna move any dates here? Vanessa, what is your suggestion?
I mean, I don't know what you think your staff, what the staff would, it's not only makes a difference to us, it makes a difference to the staff. Because they would just be
My
1, 2, 3, 4.
suggestion is to move March 19th to August 18th and March 20th to February 19th.
It would go about 6 weeks then.
So
Okay,
it's
It is a
very,
bit of a long
that's
job.
really grueling on staff to have big, long breaks like that. Like, just experienced it, it's not fun to teach through that long. The kids is for sure, when it's cold outside, you might have storm days, there might not be.
Well, if these are listed storm days, isn't it kind of counterintuitive of the point of having a storm day to have it at the first day of the year? Like, aren't they supposed to be kind of like backup days, if you
Yeah.
will? So I don't know if that would be.
That's why you have more in the second semester.
okay.
Right, why would we put that on the 18th of August if they're supposed to be like backup days? We use it day one. That probably doesn't.
Yeah, you really don't want to go with no days in March for makeup.
Because if you get you're going to get a January storm, and you're going to get, well, hopefully you only get one, but you might get 5. You never know. And then you're going to get a March storm, and how big is that March storm? Early April storm. We've been pretty lucky this year, the last 2 years actually,
That is true.
and that's why they're backloaded. That's why you have all those days back.
Okay, so one of the concerns you're hearing is not 5 days the first week, is that what you're hearing? So how about we just take the March 19th and then go to the 18th and leave the 20th where it is, so we have a day there.
But then we're still losing the storm day, like we're just throwing it away. We're using it right away. You know what I mean? Like, why would we use a storm day on
Because
day
we only
one?
have 2 storm days.
That's, and then,
Well, we
like,
have 3, we have April 6th.
and honestly, I mean, I've had a lot of parents, you know, like I remember, like even when I was in school, I've had a lot of parents say, it's like, well, if you start with like a, you know, I mean, a lot of times when we start on a Wednesday or whatever, if we have a short week right away, like, how productive are those days at school? Really, you know what I mean? And I don't know.
Okay,
A 4-day week in the elementary school, or a 5-day week in the elementary school as the first week is rough.
okay, so are you gonna make that an motion?
There is 1 storm day in April. So
Yeah.
if we would keep at least
Plus
the
there's one in
20th,
May.
Yeah.
we would have a couple. So I would be okay if we would at least keep
Keep
that
one,
one there.
okay, so you wanna make a motion, Vanessa?
I move we move March 19th to August 18th.
Okay, now 1 day then, make it a 4-day a week, okay, for starting school. Okay, instead of 5, okay, second to that, is there a second to Vanessa's motion? Okay, any discussion? Discussion? Discussion. All those in favor then of taking the March 19th day off and making the August 18th the day off, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay? Now, is everybody else comfortable with everything else? I would entertain a motion to accept the calendar. Okay, moved by Spencer, second by Colette, to accept the calendar. Discussion. 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 All those in favor of accepting the calendar, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, before we adjourn, Zane, why don't you announce, on August 8th, why don't you announce who the school board candidates are?
Oh, we have Bradley Arnold, we have Jim Wyman, we have James, and we have David Harness as well.
Okay, so we have 2 races, two openings, and each one has 2 people running for that spot. Okay? All right, that's just a clarity to make sure everyone knows that. It was probably already out, but that's public. Okay, May meeting date would be what?
Looks like it's the 15th or the Ides of May.
15?
14.
14.
Or, yeah, 14th, excuse me.
Okay.
Well, then, wait, it would be the 21st then, because that would be the 3rd.
Yeah, technically, yeah, the third
Sorry, I was
Wednesday
looking
of
at
the
the
month is
calendar.
21st.
21st would be the 3rd.
That's a long time from now.
Yeah, I agree with that. How about the 14th?
No, we can't because somebody in their infinite wisdom put the spring Christmas, or a concert on the 14th.
Oh, so then we have to go 21st, because the 7th will be too early.
Yeah, you would be able to get your bills.
No, we have to go 21st. So we'll go the 21st of May, 7 p.m. Okay? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded to adjourn the April meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And we have the regular April meeting of Harvey Board of Education is adjourned. Thank you all for attending.